Today I'm going to be sharing my first book review of 2026, and I'm going to be reviewing the book Flameheart. This was actually the first book that I read on my new Kindle, and I will be 100% honest. Reading on this Kindle for the first time was very strange because I'm so used to reading physical books and like turning the pages instead of like tapping a screen to turn the pages. But I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to download and read more books. I actually already have a few downloaded on this Kindle right now, um, that I'm very excited to read. And for anyone who loves physical books, which I completely understand, this Kindle in no way, shape, or form is going to replace my love of physical books. I have always loved reading physical books. So do not worry, there is going to be plenty of physical book reviews, or I'm going to be sharing a lot of physical book content on this channel. This Kindle is just going to be a fun add-on. So let's get started. So, in the last book review I shared, which was the final book review of 2025, I shared that going forward, I wanted to write the start date of when I started a new book, and I wanted to write the end date of when I finished that book. And so I actually wrote that down in the notes section on my cell phone. So I actually started this book on December 21st, 2025, and I finished it on December 31st, 2025. And I also wanted to write at the top of the page when I'm doing a book review in my book journal if the book was a physical book or if it was on the Kindle. That way I just like do for fun. Anyway, so I'm going to give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was actually one of the best books that I have read, and I will be 100% honest that this book was not what I was thinking it was going to be. Because if you looked at the front of the book, I really thought it was going to be kind of like a Harry Potter type thing. It was not. It was excellent. And this is a book that I would recommend really to like all ages because there is nothing in this book. There's no swearing, no romance, no violence, no nothing. It was really, really good. And basically the premise of this book, and I'm not going to be sharing any spoilers as I am a very firm believer that everyone should be able to, you know, listen to a book review on a book that they may be interested in and not have to have the ending spoiled for them or have any type of like plot twist spoiled for them, because I firmly believe that everyone should get to experience the ending of a book on their own with no like forewarning. And I am also a firm believer that plot twists should be discovered or read by each individual person so they can have those moments. Anyway, so the premise of this book is this girl who is a teenager. She and her grandfather write these stories. They've been writing these stories for years, and it's about a kingdom. And basically, she writes her imaginary friend, which is her best friend, as one of the main characters of this book. However, pretty soon into the book, the grandfather, who she's very close with, he dies unexpectedly. He gets killed. And this is where the mystery element of this book comes in, because no one can understand why he died. No one can understand why it was, why there's like no evidence of it. And they're trying to understand, why did this happen? So basically, one night, the character that's her imaginary friend, that's her best friend, comes out of the book and into her real world. And she's like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here? Like, this isn't real. Like, she thinks she's going crazy. And so she finds out that this kingdom that her and her grandfather have been writing about is actually a real place. And her grandfather is like a court member of the kingdom. And these people, they know her mom, they know her, all of these things. And basically, there's this whole element of mystery, fantasy, all of this type of stuff. And she finds out that she's a Flameheart, basically a defender of the dimensions. And her mom's a Flameheart. Her grandfather is one. And her mom has kept this from her for years because she thought she had more time. But her grandfather dying was the indication that there was more going on between the realms of these dimensions than people knew, and it was becoming serious. And she finds out why her grandfather died. this imaginary friend helps her through a lot of the battles. She has to go on a quest. So it's kind of like, it kind of had, like, I want to say Harry Potter, but it wasn't Harry Potter, but it has like a Hobbit feel to it where like he's going on an adventure type thing. And basically, she learns a lot about the kingdom. She learns a lot about herself, who she wants to be, etc. And I loved it. This book, no swearing, no violence, no nothing. I would definitely recommend it. And this book, like I said, it was not what I thought it was going to be. And it was one of the best books that I've read in a very long time. I will also say that um, I am actually thinking that I might get the physical copy of this book so I can have it. But yeah, I would 100% recommend this. And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be sharing any like spoilers, plot twists, anything like that. I will say though that around like the 60% mark of the book, it did get kind of boring and slow to like, I want to say like the 80% mark. And I almost considered not finishing it because it got really slow. But I'm really happy that I did finish it because the ending was really, really good. Um, so yeah. So if you're looking for a really good book that has nothing in it, that's fun, it has like a magic element, also has like a mystery, like kingdom to like real world type dimensions in it, I would definitely recommend giving this a go. Absolutely amazing. And like I said, 5 out of 5 stars. This book had 412 pages in it. And I actually read this in 10 days. That the start date and the end date is just for me because I just wanted to see like how fast I was reading the book. But yeah, so absolutely amazing. I cannot say enough good things. And I may at some point have to get the physical copy because this book I think definitely belongs on a bookshelf. And the book itself also looks really, really cool. I think like the covers of books are really, really interesting too. Some covers I don't like, but yeah, this cover was really, really cool looking. And yeah, based on the cover, I did not think this book was going to be what it was, but I'm really happy that I read it and I highly, highly recommend it.